We are in a series called Angered, okay? And we've been looking at the part of the Bible called Habakkuk, and we've been following the story, and we've been dealing with how sometimes we get angry at God and how we gotta kind of see that situation more, I guess, from more biblically. Okay, so let's jump into today's passage. This is chapter 3, Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 1, 2. I'll read the passage for you. A prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet, O Shigionoth. Lord, I have heard of your fame. I stand in awe of your deeds, Lord. Repeat them in our day. In our time, make them known. In wrath, remember mercy. Years ago, I heard a story of a couple who attend the church, and I think they're kind of like, maybe not newlyweds, but they've been married for a while, but they haven't got any child yet. So they really want a child. So they pray and tried and all that, but wasn't happening. So they came to the pastor at the church they're attending, and they shared the story. Pastor, we had this issue, and we've been praying and trying, but nothing's happening. And the pastor goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That must be really difficult for you guys. I'm really okay. I will pray for you guys." I mean, weeks later, they came back to the church, and they came to the pastor and said, "Pastor, we got a good news. My wife, we're pregnant." And the pastor goes, "Oh, that's exciting. Thank you for sharing. Oh, that's great. I'll keep praying for you guys." And then about a month later, the couple came back and then talked to the pastor. Pastor, we got a good news again. What is it? You know what? We told you that, we're pregnant. We're pregnant with the twins. Oh, that's awesome news. That's great. Thank you for sharing. I'll keep praying for you guys. And then they left. Months later, they came back again and talked to the pastor. "Hey, pastor, we got a good news. What is it?" And they go like, "Actually, we found out that it wasn't twins. It was a triplet. So we got triplet inside, there." The pastor goes, "That's exciting news. Thank you for sharing. I'll keep praying for you guys." And then the couple goes, "Pastor, thank you for all that, but I think you can stop praying for us now." "Stop, pastor. Okay, we got enough." What is going on here? Sometimes you face in your life the situation you feel like I am facing something that's bigger than me. Okay, then what do? You panic, okay? And very often you get anger too. In today's passage, actually the story of Habakkuk we've been looking at, he was just summarizing what happened last 2 weeks. He was angry at God. He was saying like, all these things happening around me in the world, it's not right, God. You got to do something. What are you doing? You're doing nothing about this. And God goes, "Oh, you know what? I was actually thinking the same thing. So I was about to do something, and I was gonna bring in Babylon." And then Habakkuk goes, "Not those guys. Those guys are more evil than us. They're like worse than us. What are you saying?" And he didn't like the plan that God had. But now we're looking at the passage. Habakkuk basically goes saying, "You know what, God? What I'm facing right now is bigger than me. I am standing in awe of you." Okay? What I'm looking at right now, what I'm hearing from you right now is way bigger than what I am actually capable of. That's too big. That's what's happening in today's story. But the same thing happens in your life and my life too. Very often we face a life situation that we feel like that are bigger than us. That actually breaks us apart, and we feel angry, we feel, despair, we feel sad, we feel uncertain, we feel fear, all those things happening. So what we try to do is we try to make sure that our life goes in a way that actually is in the same tone, or that at least please God as much as possible. So you try to go to church, attend the church regularly, and try to do your thing as a church person, so that make sure that, I never face something that's bigger than me ever in your life. But it doesn't really happen that way all the time. I have a radio show that nobody listens to, and I've been doing it for the last 15 years. So next year will be our 15th anniversary, and I'll be the only person who's going to celebrate it. Okay? Anyway, I've had this show, and this show is what I do in this show is I usually invite the people that I like to hear their stories, because this is a good tool to invite. So I've met all kinds of people last 15 years. I think I met like at least like hundreds. And I'd like to introduce like two of them, which, I mean, their story really were interesting to me. And one of them is, his name is, let me see the next picture, please. Okay, lady first. Her name is Kyungrim Lee, okay? She runs this organization, this ministry that helps those children of prisoners' family. Okay, so one of your parents just go to prison, the children actually left abandoned. And this ministry that she runs, she leads, helps make sure that those children are in the safe and caring hands. She's doing an awesome job, this beautiful ministry. But the story I heard is that when she actually, before anything of those related to the ministry happened, she was married to a pastor, as a preacher's wife, and she was serving this little church in the very poor area of Seoul. They call it the hillside, okay? When they go hillside, houses are cheaper and all those poor people gather there, live there, hillside. Anyway, so she was there serving the church, not just the church, but she saw all those little kids kind of not getting any care in the neighborhood. So she gathered them all. She tried to teach them some stuff they need to learn and all that. It was like in the 70s. And then what happened? Think about it. Isn't that an awesome thing to do? It is, right? She was not like, and she wasn't really wanting like more money. She was not like looking for a wealthier family. She was faithful to what is given to her, the ministry, the church, the family, the pastor's wife role. So she did something we all feel like must be pleasing God. But what happened is, as she was helping those little kids, serving the church, she got 5 miscarriages. So after 5th one, according to her, every time she sees a woman was pregnant, just tears falling out. She couldn't help it. After 5 miscarriages. And then, and part of this too, all different kinds of difficult problems happen in her relationship with her husband. So in the end, she got divorced. After all, she got nobody left. Think about it. Didn't she live the kind of life from everybody's perspective, obviously, that probably would please God's heart, right? A lot of hard work, volunteering for those little children who are in help. But what happened to her was so unexpected. And we all feel like that's not right. She doesn't deserve that. I have another person that I'd like to introduce you. His name is Bongjin Park. That's the guy. By the way, on the left, that's me. Just in case you have some vision issue, okay? Me, 12 years younger. Anyway, this guy is awesome too. What he does is he runs and leads this ministry, organization that helps those little children who have incurable rare diseases. Okay, little children. You know, if you ever been to a children's hospital, there are those little kids who have illness can be cured and rare disease. So that organization is doing an awesome job. The reason why he started doing that is when he was like 27, he was watching TV. He was like us. He was one of like ordinary person just watching TV. Okay, that's what you do. I do too. Just watching TV. And then he saw this documentary about a little child, a little girl who had this rare, incurable disease, and he felt compassionate. So he gathered some of his friends, he made a little fund, and he reached out and helped that little girl's family. And after that happened, he and his friends gathered doing that. They felt like, why don't we go further? Why don't we do and help more other little children, not just this girl? So they actually started this organization called 여울돌. It's an awesome organization. The amazing thing about this organization is, though he's the leading person of the organization, this charity organization, he doesn't get paid from the organization. Everybody works there. They're all volunteers. So any money you give to the organization, they 100% go to those little children. So if you want to help, if you feel like, okay, maybe I'm interested, you can, okay, find more about that organization. Anyway, but he's doing an awesome job, right? That must be something God must be like really pleased with. Wow, that is so good. That is perfection, right? You have a heart of compassion, reach out those little children who have these rare, incurable diseases and help those family. And he's not even getting paid from the organization. There's no like personal gain out of it. He's doing all that out of the pure heart to serve God, serve the people around him. But what happened is, years later, he found out that he got one of those rare, incurable diseases too. He's got this very difficult, as a word, the term very difficult to say. I can say this. Rhinitis. All those medical terms, they're so hard. I can say this. Wait. Okay, talk to the person, have some little chatty time. I can figure this out. Oh, I'm right here. Okay. Rhinitis. Oh, rhinitis pigmentosa. You see, you don't even understand. I mean, you don't even get the right. Like, what's the point of me saying this word? Anyway, so he got this. And what this disease does to you is you gradually lose your vision. And eventually you become blind. And the worst part of it is you don't know when you're going to become completely blind. That day is coming. You lose your vision gradually, but you don't know when you're going to lose it fully. So he got that. So he was actually telling me every night when he got his own children too. When my children actually make bed and ready to go to bed, I read stories to them and all that. And I feel like maybe tonight is the last night I can see them. Maybe this moment is the last moment that I can see my family. Maybe this moment is the last moment that I can see my daughter's face, my son's hair, and I will not be able to see them grow old. That's what he told me. And we feel like, why is this even happening? Hasn't he lived a life, the kind of a life that pleased God's heart? And from everybody's eyes, obviously, it looks so good. It looks so holy. It looks so selfless. Yet, what's happening is we can't really see why this is really happening. Habakkuk is basically saying the same thing too. What I'm seeing right now is way bigger than my capacity of my understanding. In your life, similar things happen. Look back. So many things that happen in your life, you felt it's too big. I can't grasp the whole concept of it. I don't even know how it's going to end. Like this guy, he doesn't even know how he's going to lose his full vision eventually in the end. Similar thing happened in your life and my life. And what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do as a Christian? I have my own children too. And when I still remember the first family trip I actually took them to, we went to the city called Gangneung. Have you ever been to a city called Gangneung? Yeah, it's on the east seaside. It's a beautiful city. Kind of far from here though. It takes you, for the normal people, normal drivers, it takes you around 3.5 hours. Okay. Larry and Gail, you guys went to Gangneung recently, right? How long did it take for you guys? Is it how slow you drive, Larry? Gail, are you actually okay with that? You're like, honey, we're going. But they it took them that long because they were in the Chuseok traffic, okay? But normally it takes about 3 hours or 3.5, okay? But for me, I'm a slow driver. I'm a kind of a driver who enjoys the nature while I drive. I'm the kind of a driver who enjoys the birds singing. I'm kind of a driver who enjoys that fresh air, though all the windows are shut. So it takes me usually like 4.5 hours, okay? So first time my family going, I think my daughters were like 4 and 6. They're sitting in the back seat. I'm excited. My wife is excited. First family trip. But not long after we left, these girls, they started like yelling, shouting. Shouting what? Are we there yet? We're bored. Are we there yet? Remember those days before smartphones? Remember those days when we actually in the cave and draw things on the wall? Remember those days? Remember those days every night we're dancing around the little fire? Remember those days? Remember those days when, Mr. Perry cut big, bear and he was proud? Remember those days? Oh, maybe Mr. Perry remembered those days. We didn't have a smartphone, nothing. No pad, no phone, no smart, no. So my girls sitting back there with those like toys, They were so bored. Like it didn't even pass an hour. It was like 30 minutes after that we left. Like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? They were yelling and crying too. Why are we seeing the car? I don't like this. Again, 4 and 6. And you may think like, oh, it looks really bad. It is bad. It was really bad. I was driving. I was angry too. But actually, if you see the situation from their eyes, imagine. It was the longest trip they ever took. Longest trip. It was like they're sitting there, and any trip they took before was ended like 30 minutes before. But now they're in the car. About an hour passed by, and they're still in the car. It must be painful. It must be really painful. It must be so uncertain to them. It must be like something they never experienced before. Something, listen, bigger than their lives. They kept crying. Daddy, you're leading us to hell. But interesting thing is, though they cried, they were yelling, they were like nagging and all that, they didn't like open the door and like jumped out. They still stay seated, though they were loud. They were like there. You know why? Because though what they're facing, the trip they're taking, that moment was way, way bigger than their lives. But they still know that the person who's driving is my daddy. They never doubted that. In our lives, we feel like that too. We're like those little kids in the backseat. We're yelling and nagging and shouting, "Dad, where are you taking us? Where are you taking us? This is too big!" Ah! I know maybe some of you are in this situation right now. Like health-wise, like financial-wise. You're like, this is too big, where are you taking us, God? Ah! It's okay. But what we do is, we still believe that the person who's driving is my daddy. Looking back, I faced a lot of things that way bigger than my life, but he was always good to me. Always good father to me. And what I'm facing, frustrating and all that, still, I'm loved by him. We believe that. How can you believe such a thing? I actually got a LASIK surgery. So I used to wear glasses, but I thought wearing glasses kind of stopping my beauty to the people who are looking at me. So I kind of got rid of glasses. I got the LASIK. I got my LASIK when I was in college, okay, which means like 2 years ago. A little longer than that. But I didn't really want the surgery. I kind of happened to have to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because like one day I was in my apartment back then when I was in college. I was coming back from school and I was checking my mailbox and I saw the ad. I saw the ad. It says LASIK surgery, $299, which means $299 for LASIK surgery. Okay, back then it was kind of new. It was expensive. I was like, what? Does even this price make sense? So I'm like, what's going on? So it kind of intrigued me. So I went to that place. I called them first. Hey, I saw this ad, and then they go like, "Yeah, you gotta come and we'll have a little talk." Really? Yeah, we'll give you more information once you come. I'm like, okay. So I went to their office, and then they were like, "We gotta have a little talk time first." So I joined that customer counseling whatever room. I was sitting there, and the person explaining to me, sitting, across from me, and she was saying, "Yeah, it is $299 for your LASIK surgery." Oh, really? That's really cheap. How is that even possible? Oh, it's a $299 per eye. Each eye, okay? So how many eyes do you have? Last time I checked, I got two. Wait, one, two. Oh, okay, then it's like 600, wait, 209, oh, $600. Still kind of very, it's affordable. So, okay, that sounds interesting. Maybe that's payable, okay. And then she goes, okay, how bad your visions? I don't know, because $299 per each eye is for those people who have a vision that's better than point 0.8, which is like you don't need a surgery. You don't even need to wear glasses if your visions are like point 0.8, or better than point 0.8. If you're like 1.0 there, then you don't need to wear glasses. So she was asking me, are your eyes point 0.8? I'm like, no. Then how bad your eyes are? My eyes are, my visions are 0.2, maybe 0.1, 0.0005. Oh, that case, it's $1,000 each eye. What? $1,000 each? What does it mean? Yeah, it's $2,000 for the LASIK surgery for you. Oh, I'm not getting it. That's what I said. I'm not getting it. And then she said, but if you agree to sign the sheet to get the surgery today, right now, we'll give you $600 discount. It'll be $1,400 for 2 eyes. Really? Yeah, can I think about it? No. You have to sign it now. I'm like, really? 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 And I said, can you just give me 1 day? 1 day? I gotta ask my parents. These are not just my eyes. These are kind of from them too. So I gotta make sure that the makers of the eyes are okay with it. And then she goes, this never happens, but we'll give you an exception. Go. So when I came back home, I asked my parents, and then they were like, what is LASIK surgery? Something that I always wanted. So, eventually, they okayed it. I decided to get it. So I signed the sheet, and then it was all set. Finally, surgery day came. I got that fear. Getting a LASIK surgery is something you may be little not okay about. The day has come. I was like nervous. I was in the waiting room. I looked at other people, and those other people, they're way bigger than me. Like usually when I was in States, wherever I go, I was the smallest person. Okay, there too, everybody was bigger than me. They were like mid-40s, 50s, big people, American people. I was sitting there, and we're all nervous. And then I actually had a chance to look at the surgery place. What you do is you just lie down like this, and the doctor comes in and does his thing. But like I said, everybody was nervous because the first time getting the surgery, obviously. And I found it interesting that they do, the doctor or that our institution people did with that fear and nervousness, what they did was when the person lies down like this, they give you a very small teddy bear. Look like this. And what you do is while you're lying down, waiting for the surgery to get done, they hold the bear like this. It was it was hilarious to see the big people, they lie down and hold a little bear like this and getting a surgery. But somehow, this thing, by the way, doesn't have any medical power. Okay? I don't think it even has any spiritual power either. But just holding it. Because those patients were facing something bigger than their lives. They got nervous. They have fear. They're like, I don't know what to do. Oh, but once I'm holding this little bear, teddy bear, I'll feel the peace. Isn't it interesting? So I was like laughing at them inside. But when I was actually lying down on that thing, I was like, where's the bear? Where's the bear? I feel so nervous. I feel so much fear. I need the bear. Here. Okay, thank you. Surgery went great. I got amazing vision now. So I can see all your face very clearly, even now, like 2 years later. Everything works fine. But think about it. Those people were facing something they feel really nervous about. They feel uncertain about. They feel like, oh, I've never done this before. It's too big. The situation is too big. But isn't it interesting? Those people find peace just holding little bear. I think we do the same thing. You face all those situations bigger than you. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like, I don't know, God. I don't know what you're doing. What I'm seeing right now is too big. It's bigger than me. I can't understand what's going on. And what do? You take out that little teddy bear and hold it. No. We again remember the cross. The amazing cross, that grace, we hold it in our hearts. I still don't understand what's going on. I still can't grasp the whole picture of it yet. I remember, you're my daddy through this amazing work on the tree called the cross. If this love is real, if the sacrifice is real, if that son who died on the cross is real, then I can believe that. Still, I don't see the whole picture. I can believe that you're my daddy. And with that, I can take the next step in this uncertain journey. Some of you are facing bigger things in your life, problems that are too big, issues too big, and you don't even know where to start, how it's going to end. But God is saying, listen, I'm still going to be your daddy. Miss Lee, I just introduced to earlier, in the end of the interview, you know what she actually said? Though my family kind of failed, I don't have any children of my own, it's okay. Because I feel like that situation that helped me to love those little children that I help, children of that prisoner's family, with my genuine heart. They are my children now. Really? How can you feel that way? Mr. Park, that I introduced to you earlier, you know what he actually said? Since I got my own rare, incurable disease, though I'm losing my vision, now every time I see those little children at the hospital, I see them with a heart that knows what they're going through. Even that little children's family, they welcome me. They took off their guard and welcome me because I am in the same situation. And these two people say the same thing. You know what? The problem I'm facing right now is too big. I don't know how to handle this yet. I believe that beyond this, God works in my life. And I can believe that because I still don't understand what's going on yet. I believe that He's my Father. Because I can see that through the cross. The amazing grace He's done on that place. I can see His love. Christians are not the type of people who know how to solve every situation's problems and all that. No, we can never do that. Yet, we're the people who still believe and know that our Father is a good, good Father. That's who we are. Let's pray. As we pray, I want you to just look into your lives, your hearts. What's going on in your life? What are the things you feel like they're too big for me? You feel like, I don't know where to start with this, how it's going to end. Can't really find any way out. And you don't really see where God is leading you into. Maybe sometimes your heart is heavy with that. You feel that burden, that uncertainty, that fear. Though you are here at church, your mind is occupied with that issue. What am I going to do with that? I want you to lay all of them down before your God. So to be honest with Him, God, I can't handle this any longer. I don't see any way out. But as you do that, I want you to listen to His whisper to your heart. He must be saying to you over and over again, listen, listen. Beyond what you can see, beyond your measure, beyond your plan. I've always worked in your life. And you may go, I don't know, God, how can I trust that? I must say, you know what? Have I not ever been a good father to you? Look back. My grace never stops for you. And He's showing you His cross. Listen, if I can do this, if I loved you to all the way point of death, I think I proved that already. Listen, what you are seeing right now is you feel like it's bigger than you. It is. But I am God who's even bigger than that. And my love for you is even bigger than that. You've seen that, and you will see that again.